What's up, you guys? Welcome back. If it's your first time watching, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would love to have you join the family. We talk about productivity, our corporate careers, and everything in between. So for today's video, we're going to talk about resetting your career. What does that look like for you and why it's so important? Really talking about corporate and productivity and just how we're advancing our careers, how we're thinking about our careers as Black women in corporate America. So I do a career reset, as I call it, every single year. I usually spend about a week, maybe a little longer, at the end of December, beginning of January, and I take stock on my career from the previous year. So I like to sit down and look at my brag document. We'll go over that in a little bit. I sit down and look at my brag document. I sit down and think about all the projects that I've worked and all of the accolades that I've gotten and things that didn't go so well. And I sit down and figure out how I feel about my career now that the new year is upon us and what I want to see my career look like by this time next year. The same way we take inventory in our lives on our personal goals, you want to do the same thing with your career goals. It's very important that you are not just passively floating out there and taking whatever crumbs are giving to you, but you are taking your career by the reins, you're clear on what you want, and you are taking what you want. So in this video, I'm going to give you my 5 quick and easy steps to reset your career for 2023. The first thing you want to do, and I think this is with any type of goal setting, you want to take stock of the previous year. How did you feel about the previous year? Were you overall happy? Did you achieve the goals that you set for yourself in the previous year? Whether you wanted a promotion, whether you wanted a raise, did you achieve any of that? Why do you think that did or did not happen? The first thing I do when I'm taking stock of the previous year is go through my brag document. I will link my video right up here. I went over and created my 2022 brag document with you guys. The first thing I do when I look at that document is I look at my goals and I say, did I hit these goals? If I did not hit these goals, what could I have done differently? What do I think went wrong? If I did hit the goals, I say, okay, do I need to make my goals harder for this year, or am I satisfied with where I am? Sometimes it's okay to be satisfied where you are. So you have to take stock of that and think about your own happiness and your own perception and just really how you overall felt about the year. I also like to look at the projects that I did for the year and the continuing education courses that I did for the year. How many of those did I do? Was it enough? Do I feel like I've done enough to advance my career for next year? Do I feel like I need to do more in the next year? Those are all questions you want to ask yourself as you're looking through this document. And if you recall, your brag document is just a sheet. It doesn't have to be fancy at all. You can write it down in a notebook, but it is just your actual personal account of everything that you've done throughout the year in your career, every project that you've done, accolades that you've received, awards that you've received, promotions, raises, anything that you've done throughout the year, you want to put in this document. So again, reference that video and it'll take you step by step on how to create one. After I answer those questions internally, I go back and I list 3 big wins and 3 misses that I had for the year. My 3 biggest wins and my 3 biggest misses. For the wins, why do I think I was able to get those wins? Did I use any skills that I really enjoyed using that I want to hone in the future? Think about those things. For the misses, what did I learn from that? What was my biggest lesson from those misses, and how can they become wins in the future? You also want to think about that. So step 2, I sit down after I answer all of those questions and decide what I want to accomplish for the upcoming year. This could be a new position within your company. This could be a raise. This could be moving to a different company. This could be getting a certification, continuing your education, anything that you want to accomplish in your career. Make sure you write that down. Remember, we're taking this in 1-year chunks. So doing all of those things will probably not be feasible. So make sure you stay realistic. Of course, you want them to be stretch goals. You want them to be something you're going to have to work at, but they also need to be realistic. Sometimes it could be taking a step back. Don't think of your goals as always having to be something that you think needs to be huge and monumental, right? So if you felt this year that you took on a position and it felt super overwhelming to you, it's okay to say, hey, maybe this year, I think I want to step back from that position. I worked way too much this year, and I want to step back from that and work less and have less responsibility on my plate. That's okay too, but you have to make sure that you understand those things and you're really feeling the feelings of why you feel those things so you know which way to pivot. As you're creating these goals, you also want to make sure to check in with yourself on your long-term goals. So if your goal is to be the CEO of your company in 10 years, are the goals that you're setting for this upcoming year going to be a stepping stone to help get you there? Make sure you're taking stock on that. So step 3. After you create these goals, you also want to have a plan of attack. Don't just say, I want to get my dream job at my dream company. No. You're going to say, I want to write a killer resume by January 31st. And then I'm going to network with 3 people per week from that dream company on LinkedIn or whatever platform you want to use. And then I'm going to practice my interview skills on top of that for 15 minutes a week. So when that call comes from that dream resume that I've written, I'll be ready to interview. That's how you want to break these down. Get as specific as you need to get with your goals, but get even more specific and granular with the plan underneath, right? Another example would be, for me, I'm in the human resources field. So I want to get my SPHR certification by the end of the year. What do I need to do? First thing I need to do is schedule and pay for the test. Then I need to set aside 30 minutes per day to study for said test until test day. Take 3 practice tests by a certain date before the test day. That's how specific you want to get to make sure that you're in line to hit these goals. All right. The goal is good, but if you don't have an action plan underneath, none of it's going to get done. Now, as you're working through these goals, you also want to make sure that you are doing check-ins periodically. I like to do quarterly check-ins. They seem to work for me. I think 1 month is too short to make any progress, and 3 months is just right there on the money. You can see if you're making progress in 3 months. So if you want to go on a quarterly schedule, every 3 months, you want to look back at the goals that you've set and figure out, are these goals even still something that I want? Sometimes something so dramatic, or it doesn't even have to be dramatic. Sometimes you just wake up and go, I don't even really want this. Why am I working towards this, right? That's why it's very important to ask yourself those questions from the beginning, because sometimes we can just work toward a goal because we think it's the next step or we think it's what someone else wants us to do. So whatever period you choose, for me, again, it's quarterly. Every quarter, I take stock of my goals and say, is this something that I still even want? Like if I haven't made any headway toward this goal, am I excited about it? Do I really want this? Why am I working toward this? Those are things you want to make sure you're looking at and asking yourself questions. And if the answer is yes, I'm still excited about it and I still want this goal, well, what do I need to do within the next 1 to 2 weeks that's going to push me toward it? So when I look at this goal at the next quarter, I'm not still in the same space. As you're taking a look at your goals, also make sure you're taking a look at the plan. Was this the right plan that I put in place? Sometimes we don't know what the plan is or what the plan needs to be in order to hit the goal. And it all kind of unfolds as we just start working, taking one step toward it. Sometimes you don't know what step 2 is until you complete step 1. And now look at and see, I've completed step 1. What do I think step 2 needs to be? Sometimes we have to look at the plan and pivot from the plan and make sure that we're moving at the right path as well. The last tip that I have for you to reset your career in 2023 is to get out of your comfort zone in one area of your career this year. Whether that be networking with more people, whether that be leading a meeting. Maybe you hate being in front of people and speaking in front of people. This year, you're going to lead one of those meetings. You're going to speak up more in meetings to make sure that your ideas are heard and people know that you're there. You're going to take up more space space. That's the name of the game, right? If you want success in corporate America, it is all a game. We've talked about this plenty of times. Take up space, make sure you're heard, make sure you're seen, and be that badass that I know you are. You wouldn't be watching this video if you didn't have career aspirations to go further than where you are. Make sure you're doing yourself a service by letting people know that you're there. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is all for this video. I hope you guys have amazing, successful, just badass careers in 2023. If there are any other videos or any other topics you want me to hit this year or anytime, let me know down below in the comment section. I would love to record those for you. Share this video with someone who you just wish an amazing, badass career to. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you for watching and supporting my channel. And I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.